You ready?
All
Wait,
right.
are we just doing Itachi versus Hiruzen again?
Yeah, is that fine? Or do you want to do a different
Yeah, no, I'm
topic?
cool with that. Yeah,
Hold on. Let me
Let's
ping.
go.
Why do you think that Itachi wins?
yeah. Itachi scales over Orochimaru. Just like
Do you know that Hiruzen also has scaling above Orochimaru?
no, I think Hiruzen or I'm not here. Yeah, I think Hiruzen and Orochimaru clash with each other while Hiruzen's using his true strength.
Yeah, they clash with each other, and in like 3 hits, fucking Orochimaru gets disarmed and gets his soul ripped. So like,
Okay.
if he just started out, like imagine if that was the beginning of the fight instead of the end. Would that not be a
Hold on. No
Yo,
luck,
look,
no
your
luck.
audio
Mute
is
yourself.
fucking
Yeah, I
up.
got you.
Arrow, you're gonna have to repeat everything you just said.
I was just saying, but
Hold on.
imagine if
No
that
luck. No luck is still
Local mute
unmuted.
him.
No luck.
Just local mute him. Local mute him.
Okay.
if that exchange happened in the beginning of the fight, that would be a stomp.
That wouldn't be Hiruzen's true strength though.
That would
Like
be
it doesn't
Hiruzen's.
matter.
Hiruzen not holding back.
No, it's Hiruzen's true strength because you get amped whenever you want to protect something precious to you, and he's talking about how he wants to protect.
No,
the
I
village.
don't even want to listen to this, bro. I don't know. Six, you're not doing that to him, bro. Like, I want if you're gonna try to beat Arrow, do it genuinely, bro. I'm not gonna
What?
let you get fucking Seth amped and then try to take W. Bro.
Where's the Seth amp? What?
You can use it. I've heard the. I'll take him on it.
Okay, because I told him this argument in call like when we were listening to your debate. I was like, oh, you should have said Hiruzen is actually amped, and I told him some other stuff. So it's like not genuine like for him to say that. It seems disgenuine. I don't know. Like,
I wasn't gonna use this game.
if you don't mind, like whatever. But
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
all right, I just say it's disingenuous.
But I was just gonna say that it's not that he's amped. It's just that he stops holding back. Like he says, if only I'd been able to stop Orochimaru back at that time. And then he also just says like this whole time he's like fighting him as his student. And he's like, okay, I'm just gonna defeat you for the Leaf Village.
No, that's
So
not the case.
he was holding back, and now he's just fighting regularly.
No,
And
that's
even the monkey nigga says, "What's going on? You're fighting differently than usual."
okay. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. He can be holding back in the beginning, and then towards the end, both stop holding back and get amped. Like that's not a defeater at all. All right, and I'll show you. I'll give you my reasoning as to why he's amped. I'll show you. Yeah.
Are you asserting that this is a stronger than usual Hiruzen?
I'm just gonna show you that this is Hiruzen's true strength, and that's what Orochimaru is clashing with.
So that's fine. No, whatever you're gonna show me, I totally agree.
Okay. So
Okay.
then Itachi scaled over Hiruzen.
No, because you just said that that's Hiruzen's true strength. So that's how
Yes.
strong Hiruzen. Right.
No.
So that's how strong. No, you just said that that's his true strength, Six. So that means that
but
that's
I also
strong.
claimed he was amped.
You just said the last thing you just said, and the thing I agreed to is that is his true strength.
Yes, because his
You
true
just
strength
said
is why
that
he's
is
amped.
Six.
Arrow,
So what's
that's not mutually exclusive. Wait a minute. You're trying to twist my words.
You can't Six. You can't say this is him stronger than what he can be, and then it can also be his true strength.
Yes,
Because
I
your
can.
true strength, define true strength.
Okay, what I was saying by his true strength is how strong he gets when he's amped from protecting the village, because that's what he calls his true strength.
Define true strength. What is that? What are those two
I
words
just gave you the
mean?
definition.
You didn't give me the definition. You
Okay,
said
this is the definition in context.
Okay. What is it?
Okay, the definition in context, here's his true strength, is how strong he gets whenever he feels that he's protecting the village and people precious to him.
So that means you're just using the word true strength incorrectly.
Oh my
Because
god. Arrow, it's not what wait, hold on.
You just got to give your definition.
I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm not
give your contention. I'm done.
Arrow,
You can give your contention when I'm done.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm just saying you're no good.
What?
Okay. It's not my definition of true strength. It's what Hiruzen says. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
When does he say that's his true strength?
Okay, here, I'll go get that for you.
Yeah, go ahead, show me.
Luke, do you happen to have that at all?
I can try and find it. Is it in the manga or like the actual like data
It's in
book?
the
or-
manga.
Yeah, just go to the chapter. You could probably find it pretty fast.
No, I'm on the chapter, but it's not the chapter where he like
Which is it?
It's
not the chapter where he like
he's
does the
ripping
Kenjutsu
Orochimaru's
clash.
soul out. No, it's a bit
you-
afterwards. I know that there's like after
What chapter is that one? The one you just said.
the Kenjutsu clash is 123.
Yeah. Okay.
There is something I need to get on 122 though. I'll go grab that really quickly. Wait, Draco might have posted it in dorm room.
Just go look there. Whew.
Of course, Draco didn't post it, but shit, it's whenever like it cuts back to Hiruzen versus Oro in the middle of the fight with
Gara.
Gaara. Yeah,
I can try and find it. What chapter are you in right now? I think I found it. Go to 126, maybe? It cuts back to it there, but I didn't see it.
I'll find it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
What chapter was it?
137.
Oh,
It's
shit.
literally like almost toward the end of Naruto versus Gaara. Here you go, Arrow. But there's like another scan to go along with this, so let me get that as well.
Is it the Haku one?
Yeah, that one too. If you have that.
That one's in dorm room, I'm pretty sure. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
I just did a speed read of the chapter. That's not what he's referring to. The what the whole chapter is about
Hold on one second.
is that
Let me get on my scans.
sure.
The Haku one should be pretty early on. It's like chapter 20 something.
I'll just give the one from the middle of Naruto versus Gaara. It's the same shit.
I think I found it. Chapter 21, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I found it.
Got it. But go. When people are protecting something truly precious to them, they can become as strong as they must be. And Hiruzen says, in Konoha, every year new shinobi are born and raised. They live, fight, and die in order to protect the village and those within the walls. Everyone in the village, even though we are not connected by blood, is precious to me. They are my family. And he says, I told you that shinobi's true strength emerges when she or he is defending those precious to him or her. So this is Hiruzen's true strength that Orochimaru is clashing with.
Okay, so that's not what he's clashing with because he says all of that in reference to Orochimaru wondering if Hiruzen even has the strength to finish this soul rip. So the strength amp that he gets to protect the village is in order to finish ripping his, or not even finish ripping his soul, just to even use the fucking Shinigami to cut his arms off. So it's in direct reference to him just being about to die, trying to rip his soul out.
No.
That's what directly precedes all of this. Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah, that's what directly precedes that. But here's
so
saying, hold on, let me finish. That's what precedes that. But Hiruzen is saying this is when a shinobi's true strength emerges, and he says all of this about how he wants to protect the village that's precious to him before they engage in the clash. So Hiruzen having his true strength here doesn't even really make sense, considering he's like breathing heavy and fatigued, but in the other instance is fine.
When does he say that? Can I have the whole scan? You said 137 is the chapter, correct?
Yeah, that's the chapter with the true strength emerges.
137. If that's where that quote is from, that's not before he clashes. That's after he's completed the Reaper Death Seal.
Not that. I'm talking.
So what chapter?
I sent another scan. Did you see it?
Which one did you send?
Okay, here. Check general. This is from chapter 122.
Okay.
Why is Discord not letting me post links anymore? Like my shit.
I know I can click it. It's fine. It works. Yeah, so this isn't an amp. Because the only amp that he gets, that he states that he's seen explicitly getting, is when he's using the soul rip. So that's just him saying he's not gonna hold back anymore. The only time that he's seen getting an amp from the Will of Fire is when he's just like, oh, does he even have the strength? We can see him getting a fucking amp here.
Getting an amp where?
Getting an amp in chapter 137, where he doesn't even have the strength to pull his arms all the way out. And then Orochimaru's like, I don't even know if this nigga can complete the seal. And then he just like, oh, the true strength of a ninja appears when they are protecting something important. That's when a shinobi's true strength appears.
Okay.
And he says that, and then he gets enough energy to cut his arms off with the Reaper Death Seal.
Okay.
The thing that you're showing previously about all that shit about protecting family and this, that, and the other, that's him just not holding back anymore.
Okay. Can I speak now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that it's completely impossible that Hiruzen just gets an amp in both instances, right? Because there's a precedent set that when you're protecting something precious to you, you get stronger. Not only does Hiruzen say that, Haku mentions it as well, right? So the fact that he gets amped in the other chapter does not defeat the fact that he gets amped in this chapter as well before they engage in hand-to-hand combat.
It does make a difference because the context that they're presented in is completely different. Beforehand, the context about him protecting his family and this, that, and the other was written in the context that previously he had been holding back on Orochimaru. So what that would mean is that he's simply not holding back on Orochimaru anymore. Okay. He can't get 2 amps from the Will of Fire. He can't get 2 amps from protecting people if he was already getting amped from protecting people. Okay. What, is he going to fucking protect them more? That's silly.
Okay. For one, it being silly isn't a defeater to the argument. The thing could just be silly. It is silly because let me finish. I didn't interrupt you, right? It can be silly, right? It's a fucking work of fiction. That's not impossible. And I'm saying the argument or the precedent set to get an amp from protecting something precious to you is in both instances. So that doesn't fucking matter that he gets one in both of them, right? And him not holding back isn't mutually exclusive from the fact that he can also be getting an amp. It can literally just be both. None of that contradicts anything. He can be getting an amp. Hold on. He can be getting an amp and not holding back in this instance. And in the next instance, he can just be getting an amp.
Okay. So once again, that's silly in the meaning that that's like saying you're in Super Saiyan and then you get amped more from just being in Super Saiyan. That's silly. That doesn't make any sense.
Explain why that's analogous.
I'm explaining it. If you just didn't cut me off mid-sentence,
yeah, that was my bad. That was my bad. So
I'm explaining it in the context of we've never seen this before. All we see is someone gets amped through the will of fire, and then they're amped throughout the fight. It happened with Naruto. It happened in every instance with Naruto. He doesn't get double amped from fucking the will of fire. And you're trying to say, well, this is the evidence for the double amp in that it happened here. No, you would go with the most likely explanation as to how he gets an amp later and how he gets an amp earlier. In that he stopped holding back. And that's why he specified, oh, Orochimaru, this is my chance to teach you the true strength of a ninja. He doesn't say it before because he's not being amped by the will of fire. It's only after he's amped by the will of fire that he can teach Orochimaru. And the only time he gets amped by the will of fire is at the very end. The first one is a different context than what you're presenting. It's not about protection. It's about him. The thing that he's talking about there, the meaning of I need to protect my family, is characterized by the fact that he needs to stop holding back. That's the bigger plot point that is being accentuated here. And then that's why the contextualization is different in the latter half, because something different is happening.
Okay. So you saying the fact that we have never seen someone else get amped 2 times, so it can't be the case here, is just an argument from ignorance, right? I don't even care about that. It's just completely fallacious. And there's 2 different contexts to the situation, obviously, because the fight's not gonna infinitely loop, or just the same thing's not gonna keep happening, right? Hiruzen, before he starts engaging with Orochimaru, says, Orochimaru says, sorry, you spout nonsense. You're merely one leader in a long line of many for one lowly organization. Even your mountainside image will eventually wear away and be obliterated. And Hiruzen goes on to say, the village of Konoha is not just an organization to me. And then he starts talking about how everyone in the village is precious to him, right? So, like I said, in both instances, he's wanting to protect something that's very precious to him. And there's a statement that directly says you get amped from that. So him saying that him holding back in the first instance, right, and not holding back doesn't defeat the argument that he could still be amped, right? Like I said earlier, he can just be amped and not holding back. But do you want to move on from this?
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay.
Wait, can I quickly ask something real quick? Hey, Six, are you recording that? Because I had to hop out of call
I'm
partway through that first one. Okay, cool. Just send it to me and I'll review this part later for part of my judgment.
So what was that? Speed? Was that power? Was that scaling?
Yeah, that was just scaling, like, overall.
All right, so
you want to Amaterasu?
He's blitzing speed above Orochimaru.
Okay, so that's just your counter Amaterasu. Cool. Tsukiyomi can trap people. That's the speed of light.
He's mastered all techniques in the Leaf Village, including the anti-Sharingan techniques that guy knows.
Okay, so him using. Wait, what does it say? He mastered all techniques. Let me see that.
Are you referring to when Mora says it?
Yeah, it might just be knows.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it just says, like, you who knew all Konoha Jutsu or whatever. But
yeah, well, Arrow thinks it says mastered, so I'll wait for him to send it.
Yeah, no, I say it might be knows. He's right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay, if it does say knows, right? I'll just say my argument for it would be if he's looking at Itachi's feet, he'll be significantly less able in combat because he won't be able to tell what he's doing with his hands.
Hold on. See what the scan says. Might be mastered.
I think it's
I don't have the scan, Wook, so if you have it, like,
I'm looking for it.
It's probably on 121, if anything.
Probably. I'm checking if it's in dorm room.
It just says new and could perform all existing Konohachis.
Okay, so
it is.
That would just be my defeater, or like why this would be disadvantageous for Hiruzen.
He would be augmented by the many other techniques that he would know to the point that he would be able to make up the gap.
Okay.
And even like I wouldn't even assert that he would be dampened by. You would have to prove that he would not be able to fight effectively with the anti-Sharingan techniques, because I think
I'll show you the statement.
I think that they would obviously fucking compensate for the fact that you can't look at your opponent.
I'll show you the statement.
Okay. Better not be no part 2 shit.
No, obviously. I forgot to specify part 1, but I know that you only do part 1 anyway, so it's cool.
What was the statement?
It's some specific guy shit.
Yeah, so it's
he
not.
Sent it already. Luke.
Oh, he sent it
already. Yeah.
Yeah. It says Nguyen could perform.
Okay, here we go.
Wait, did Arrow counter the true power thing? I wasn't listening.
That point, I'm gonna have to review it because we hopped out of call for a minute, Seth. But
Yeah.
they just left it up to judgment. They both had their arguments for it.
Sure.
I think I did. If that means anything.
Guy says, when you go up against someone with the Sharingan, you only need to avoid meeting your opponent's eyes. Just keep your sight on their feet at all times, and you can read their movements and react. He says, now that you mention it, that doesn't make sense, but you're probably the only one of us who's any good at it. He says, I suppose so. You simply need to acquire the knack for discerning an opponent's movement from just their feet. So,
yeah. So
one second. Obviously, Hiruzen would be able to look at Itachi's feet. He has eyes, right? That's fine. But the ability to discern Itachi's movements from just his feet should be difficult. Like they say, Guy's the only one who's good at it.
Yeah, because compared to them, because he just described it like vocally in the middle of combat while they're both exhausted. Fucking Hiruzen knows and can perform all of them. So if the anti-Sharingan technique is looking at their feet and discerning their movements based on that, then he would know it and he would be able to perform it.
Yeah, I'm saying he can perform it, but to what level and how is it going to let him, see Itachi's movements well?
To what level? I would assert that it would be to at least because if you know a jutsu, like say fireball jutsu, right?
That one's too basic. We should probably use a different one.
That was Raikiri.
Raikiri's pretty complicated. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Raikiri would be pretty complicated. That involves like chakra transformation and shape transformation.
That's part 2 stuff.
Or it would. Is it? I don't think that's true. I think the data book for part 1 Raikiri says it's the shape transformation.
I don't think that's all too relevant anyway. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just give it to. Okay, that's fine. So I would just say that. Like I think that to say that he does, like he only knows like the technique itself, like he knows to just look at their feet, would be, so that's not an anti-Sharingan technique.
Yes, it is. You look.
No, it's not, because you can still just get killed by what the Amaterasu, your bitch ass.
Jesus Christ. Sorry.
Is my mic peaking?
Yeah, it was for a second. Okay.
Yeah, I'll push it away.
What'd you say?
I said, like, what if they Amaterasu, your bitch ass?
Who is they? Like Itachi? What?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, you think anti-Sharingan techniques include the MS?
It's an anti-Sharingan technique.
Yeah, but that's like, I'm sure you would agree, is in reference to Genjutsu.
I don't think so. I think it's in reference to all of their shit. Like he uses it to fight Kakashi, and Kakashi can like do more shit than just use Genjutsu with the Sharingan.
What else can he do besides predict your movements?
He has precognition.
Yeah. Okay. How did that get to Amaterasu?
What I'm just saying, the Sharingan has more than just Genjutsu. Like,
yeah,
you would have to be.
But I'm saying not looking at.
You would have to do more shit to be able to counter the Sharingan than just avoid Genjutsu.
Okay, but not looking at someone's eyes should be for Genjutsu, because that's exactly what Kakashi tells Kurenai and Asuma to do when Itachi's about to use one.
Sure, but that's not an anti-Sharingan technique. because now your fucking eyes are closed. This nigga with this Sharingan can hit you with the Amaterasu, predict where you're gonna go, and spin kick you in the nuts. Like, there's so much more shit that the Sharingan affords you.
Okay. Well, that's the Mangekyo Sharingan, right?
No, the regular Sharingan.
Hold on, wait. Let me get done talking. Right? Guy mastering them for Kakashi, unless you can show me Kakashi has a Amaterasu, I'm not gonna like even entertain that, right? Guy mastering them for Kakashi can be that he's got some sort of resistance to precognition, and the fact that it's a counter to Genjutsu. That's fine.
Okay, so okay. That's fine.
Okay, so
all right,
that's fine and all. Hiruzen can have that counter, but I said Tsukuyomi can trap light speed people. I want you to prove he can do it at light speed.
Yeah, I don't think that really matters because Hiruzen scales above Kakashi.
What does that matter?
Kakashi blocked a light speed attack from Itachi. You know that water dragon shit that moves at light speed got blocked by water wall.
Yeah, okay. Prove Kakashi scales to his water wall.
He casted the jutsu before the jutsu could hit him.
Yeah, okay.
So that means he would have fucking light speed reaction time.
When does the jutsu... Okay, Arrow. If the jutsu moves at... Wait a second. Let me get done talking. Right? The jutsu from Itachi is what's stated to be light speed, right?
Correct.
Not his hand signs, right?
Correct.
Just the jutsu. Okay.
I addressed that already. You're repeating nothing.
I'm not done. The water wall Kakashi summons blocks the jutsu, not his hand signs. So I want you to prove he scales to the water wall.
Did you hear what I said, or did you just like? Because I said
I didn't hear
he put up the water wall in retaliation to the attack. He says, I can't keep up with Itachi's hand signs, which means that Itachi's jutsu launched, and then he put up a water wall before it got to him. That's straight up scaling.
Okay, that's not what he says. What he says,
he's like, that nigga's hand.
Let me talk. Come on, right? What he says is, I could. Oh no, he says I couldn't follow his sign weaving at all, right? So he knows. Arrow, let me get done talking. What the fuck?
My God.
Okay, so he knows he was weaving signs, and he jumps back in response to something because he says, okay. Furthermore, that he would use shuriken in his right hand to distract me while launching suitan at my feet, right? So he backs up and uses the water wall. And the water wall is what outspeeds the bullets. That's
not what happens. That's not the fucking sequence of events that happens. He's literally.
Why don't y'all post the scans?
Okay. I'll post
them. I got them. I got these things on my motherfucking hip. Yeah.
I got them right now. I'm posting them. You might be able to post them faster because your internet.
Blitz, nigga. Yeah.
My internet is bad. What? That's not a blitz.
Whatever, nigga. You're dizzy.
That's scaling.
Speed blitzed his ass.
Okay.
Fucking so the thing that he states is that's an incredibly fast jutsu. My eyes can't even keep up with him. However, the shurikens in his right hand are used as bait, used to make me come out of the suitan underfooted. Your penetrating eye is remarkable as expected of Kakashi. Isn't that right? So he's still able to put up the jutsu while distracted before the jutsu gets to him.
Oh, okay.
And then he says the thing that he can't keep up with. He doesn't even remark on the fucking water jutsu. He says, man, that jutsu is fast. I can barely keep up with Itachi. What the fuck? It's Itachi that's fast. He doesn't give a fuck about the water style jutsu.
Okay. Well, for one, he's not looking at the water style jutsu. All he does is put his wall up for it, right? For one, I want you to show me when that jutsu actually launched, because all he says is he could barely follow his hand signs, right? So, for all you know here, Kakashi's water wall could use 2 hand signs, while Itachi's uses 44, so he was able to back up and the wall outspeed the jutsu.
You know, because he's already finished the hand sign by the time Kakashi started his.
You can't prove that.
Yes, I can prove that, because we can see Kakashi's hand signs, but we don't see fucking Itachi's.
We don't even see the hand he's using.
Because he's done.
You don't know that that's the reason.
Yes, I do, because he says he can't keep up with Itachi, which means that he must have finished his hand signs afterwards. Or else
That
if
is not.
they finished at the same time, he kept up with him, nigga. Like, what are you talking about?
I didn't say they finished at the same time, right? I'm saying, Arrow, let me talk. Wait, let me talk. Wait, I can't talk. I can't talk because, or not, I can't talk. Sorry. I can't hear you. I couldn't hear you right then, but I wanted to talk anyway, right? I'm saying that Itachi can still be weaving his signs with his left hand while trying to throw him off with his right hand, and we don't see Itachi's left hand at all for you to claim that he was done by the time Kakashi started weaving his signs and when the water wall got put up.
That's fucking headcanon. Like, you can't, like, all that shit.
This is all an interpretation.
I get no, you that's fucking, you have no evidence for that. Like, you're
You
saying
have
some
no
shit
evidence
about,
for what you're saying.
I gave evidence for my assertion.
No,
I
you
gave
didn't.
my reasons for why
we used the exact same evidence when it comes to the different conclusions.
I gave my reasons for why I thought he was done already. I gave my reasons for why I believe that he finished the hand signs before Kakashi started his. And I gave my reasonings as to why I believe that this water thing got reacted to by Kakashi. I did give reasons.
Okay.
You're just saying, I think, and it could be, and yada, yada, yada. I don't care.
Okay, Arrow, all I have to do here is present alternate interpretations and possibilities to what you're saying so that your claim here doesn't go through. You can't establish a likelihood. That's all.
No,
I'm
you
saying.
just.
So, Arrow, I'm not done. Right? And we're using almost the exact same evidence to just come to different conclusions. I've given my reasoning as to why I think that these possibilities are even possible. Right? But if you think we've done all on this point, we can move on past it.
No, I want to say one last thing. It's not about you just bringing up a contention or a different interpretation. It has to be an equally likely interpretation. You said you brought in all of these different factors, all of this imagination about like, oh, he could have done this. This is what his tactic could have been, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck. I would just dismiss that via, what is that, Occam's? That's headcanon. We take the instance that has the least amount of assumptions. I'm not assuming shit. We know that his hand signs were too fast for Kakashi to keep up. We don't see the hand signs, but we see that his jutsu has already been fired. Okay. And he has to put up the water wall in response.
Okay, can I respond now?
Yep.
Okay. So what I'm saying is not an assumption because I'm giving evidence for it. I said we see them looking at each other, and then we see Itachi's right hand come up and Kakashi start weaving his signs to back up for the jutsu. My evidence for that we don't know what hand signs Itachi is weaving is the fact that we don't see his left hand. Like, we literally don't see his left hand at all on page, on panel, anything, right? Kakashi says that he couldn't follow his sign weaving at all, so he knew he was weaving signs. I'm saying you cannot dictate when this jutsu was launched when this jutsu was launched in response to the water wall. Sorry. You cannot, in relation to the water wall, to say that Kakashi himself scales to light speed and not just his water wall.
All right, that's fine. We can move on.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you again, because you say Hiruzen scales over Kakashi. Why you think that?
Because he's the strongest in the village by virtue of being the Hokage. And he also just scales to Orochi. He also just scales to Orochimaru. I'll just dismiss that point for now. He just scales to Orochi. He scales above Orochimaru in my scaling, who Kakashi thinks would just kill him. He just thinks he would get his head cut off.
Okay. Well, for one, I think Kakashi, in the instance you're talking about, got fear hacks because Orochimaru has this move where he can just make you imagine your death. Do you want me to show you that?
Yeah, please. Because I'm pretty sure that's just killing intent. And also, Orochimaru also just says to Kabuto that you probably can't kill me. You're about as strong as Kakashi.
Okay, I want you to show me that Orochimaru knows how strong Kakashi is.
Sure. Actually, I'm pretty sure Kabuto and Kakashi just fight. And he would know by virtue of Kabuto being his fucking underling who reports to him. Like, yeah, that would be my evidence for it.
What? When did Kabuto and Kakashi
fight?
Okay.
And Kabuto reports to Orochimaru.
Okay. When did show me?
What are you talking about?
Show me Kabuto and Kakashi fighting. Like,
sure. Sure.
Trying to find this Orochimaru thing. Oh, hold on one second. I had to mute right quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
What are you looking for right now?
Where Kabuto fights Kakashi.
That's fuck. When does that happen? That's like,
Okay.
That's during like the Gara invasion.
yeah, it's
Okay, I'm
like
back.
a little bit after the Gara fight with Sasuke. So like chapter 116, maybe.
I found a couple scans of it, but I want to get the full fight.
What are you trying to look like? Just the
Where
fight
they
itself.
where they like, had that exchange.
Oh, are you trying to like establish relativity?
Yeah, and then I have a couple other scans. I just want to find the full fight scene.
Sure. Yeah, I can help you look for that.
Here's Orochimaru putting that thing on Sakura, and
That chapter 87? Is it really that early?
87. Gotcha.
87, 88, and 89 is what I'm saying here.
There's no way.
what is this data book skin, Arrow? If you brought this up, I didn't hear you.
It was just him. They're talking about like how he's able to avoid and evade Kakashi.
Okay, Kakashi doesn't have his Sharingan on.
It is 88. 88 and 89. Way earlier than I thought it was. Are y'all past this Kabuto point, or y'all still on this?
We're still on it.
Okay.
Wait, hold on, Arrow. You said he would know. Excuse me.
What?
You said he would know how strong Kakashi is because he talks to Kabuto, who reports back to him.
Yeah.
Okay, he makes this statement about Kakashi before Kabuto interacts with Kakashi.
I don't think that's true. That's when they went to go find Tsunade.
I'm looking at it right now. Like he makes it in 88 before Kabuto goes to confront Kakashi later in 88.
I don't think you're talking about the same statement that I am. I'm talking about when Kabuto's standing on the roof overlooking Tsunade, and he says he's looking. Orochimaru is looking at him from afar, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you thought some shit about I'm weakened, but you couldn't kill me because you're only about as strong as Kakashi." That's the statement I'm talking about.
Okay, let's go find that one then.
I can get it. I have it. I think I have it pulled up.
Pretty sure that the one that you're talking about, 6, I think that's a flashback anyway. I might be misremembering.
A flashback before it happens? What?
I'm saying we don't see it actually happen on screen, and he's flashing back to like when it does happen. I think that's how it happens in the anime, but I could be misremembering.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, this is a flashback.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's when he's overlooking Tsunade.
No. That's when this panel pops up. But this quote from Orochimaru here is from the flashback. Like he's got the headband on, like when he's impersonating in the Leaf.
I'm not sure about that. I think that in the context, I think that in the context of what that is, he's just thinking about Kabuto.
That's not what that is. I think that's Kabuto thinking back to Orochimaru's earlier statement.
Okay.
But here, I'll show you. Because, like, if you remember in this chapter right here, when he's confronting Tsunade, he doesn't have this headband on.
Yeah, just show me the Tsunade instance. I'm pretty sure that's
What chapter was that? You remember?
Which one? The Tsunade instance?
Yeah. My part 1 knowledge
It's-
fucking
it's- it-
sucks.
Yeah, it's before like the three-way deadlock chapters. So like try late 120s maybe, because
Late 120s is
it's
the
like
Hiruzen fight, basically.
fuck.
I have a scan of Orochimaru during that period. Do you want me to send it?
No, I found it. I found what Arrow was talking about anyway.
Also, Kakashi just straight up admits that he's not. Like he says, his current state isn't enough to defeat Kabuto.
Show
And I
me
just
that.
posted that.
Okay.
This is after he and Kabuto have their little throwdown, and he says, "My current state isn't enough," in reference to Kabuto.
Even the body disposal squad would be impressed for someone like this to be under the command of Orochimaru. My current state isn't enough, and that's why it is. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. He can scale to Kabuto.
Okay, so then my scaling would go through all the shit.
Well, have
Yeah.
y'all gone through that
It would-
Orochimaru point yet with the fear hacks? Did y'all get through that already? I thought y'all like.
yeah. Is
Yeah,
there?
yeah,
anything-
That doesn't.
that's a
That doesn't
or
matter.
is that-
That was part of Orochimaru and like.
right. The Orochimaru. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Well, I thought you were saying because
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
Okay,
matter.
doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
Do we need to go over anything else? Obviously Itachi has precognition.
Sure, that's fine.
Blah blah blah.
Era, do you
No,
want
I
to
think
establish a win con or
He just beats him to death with
beat him to death? Okay. Y'all
Yeah,
done?
I'm good. I think
Wanna-
I'm good.
You want to go to conclusions or just cut it off?
I can go. I like for conclusions.
Yeah, go ahead and conclude because I don't remember the entire debate anyway.
In conclusion, I feel as though I won the speed point. And the thing about the will of fire versus the not holding back, he kept arguing that they didn't have to be mutually exclusive, or that he tried to argue that mine was an argument from ignorance. I gave the evidence that there has never been a precedent and nothing has ever followed that has shown that you can get amped from the will of fire twice. So I just said we would go with what is most likely. He never proved why his particular interpretation would be more likely. So I do feel as though I provided a more valid interpretation. On the water shuriken point, on the light speed shit, I feel like I pretty much proved that fucking Hiruzen knows all jutsu in the leaf. So even if he did get off the light speed jutsu, which I feel as though I scaled Kakashi to pretty well, he would just use the water wall in the same way that Kakashi did. I also feel like I just proved that straight up because Kakashi says that he couldn't keep up with his water signs, or for his hand seals, so it wouldn't make sense for the jutsu to launch at the same time as Kakashi's. So it would mean Kakashi finished his hand seals before a light speed jutsu could get to him. So I feel like I scaled that fine either way. And in AP, in speed, I believe I said Itachi scales somewhat unquantifiably above Orochimaru. I said here's in Blitz.
I forget if you agreed that like Amaterasu would hurt him. Did you like agree to that or?
I just said he would dodge it via beam.
Okay, so you're just not worrying about it. Because like,
Yeah.
can you scale his durability anywhere, or you're just?
I just said he scales above Orochimaru. I think their
Okay.
AP is relative, so I think their AP
Okay.
is relative. So I think that's
You,
fine.
so they can hurt each other. So it's just down to speed then, really, in the like precog
He
points.
didn't like the AP and different
Was
stuff.
that your
Yeah.
conclusion?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think. I think I won the debate because when we started going over if Hiruzen was amped when fighting Orochimaru or not, I think I definitely demonstrated that, considering I was saying that before they clashed with each other in Kenjutsu, Hiruzen was talking about how he wanted to be how he's like protecting the village, people he finds precious to himself, and Haku states that you can be as strong as you need to be whenever you're protecting something precious to you. Hiruzen also states that your true strength emerges when this is happening. Arrow tried to argue that this was just in reference to holding back. I said that isn't mutually exclusive. It can literally just be both. He then tried to say that he got amped in the other instance where he cut off his arms. I was like, that's fine. He can just get amped in both instances. My opponent tried to counter by saying that was silly. I was like, whatever. Like, it can just be silly and still be the case. It's a work of fiction. He then tried to say that we've never seen this happen before, so it can't be the case. I dismissed that by saying it was an argument from ignorance. So I think I definitely won that point. So I don't think Arrow had any scaling above Itachi at all. I think that the best Arrow gets from that is that Hiruzen is above Orochimaru, even though I don't think he won the point at all. Hiruzen is above Orochimaru, so they're both just above Orochimaru to some unquantifiable degree. And then after that, we went over Amaterasu. Like Arrow said, we like just moved on. We just basically left that point up to speed as well. And
We had the Mike Guy point
the Mike Guy point.
with the anti-Sharingan techniques.
Oh yeah, I was asking Arrow to prove that the anti-Sharingan technique could be used by Mike Guy effectively in order to, like, combat Itachi. I don't think that was properly demonstrated. We went over a water bullet point because I was saying Tsukuyomi can trap people who are light speed. Arrow, I don't think effectively demonstrated that Kakashi scales to his water wall, which blocked the jutsu. So I don't think he won that point either. So yeah, it's just like Tsukuyomi or Amaterasu GG basically.
46
I
minutes.
think I'm good. Yeah.